Module 5 of the Iowa Task Force 1 video training series teaches you how to use the United States National Grid System and a grid reader to find locations on a topographical map. You'll learn the importance of using a standardized georeferencing system during a search and rescue, or SAR, event, and why the USNG has been adopted by both federal and state search and rescue units across the country. What if you need to search a remote area where there are no roads or markers? What if you need to find your way in a city where all the street signs have been destroyed by a tornado or submerged by a flood? Do you know how you'd find a specific location? The U.S. National Grid, or USNG standard, provides a nationally consistent language of location that has been optimized for local applications. It provides a grid reference system that is seamless across jurisdictional boundaries.
The United States National Grid is a grid that has been developed by the United States government to really help us create a uniform, standardized, wide area, flexible system for search and rescue. It's worldwide, and it crosses jurisdictional boundaries, which is really important when we're dealing with a search and rescue mission.
GPS systems use 3 different formats to record latitude and longitude coordinates. How do you know which format everyone is using? The simple answer is you don't.
If I say latitude, longitude, there are actually 3 standardized ways to say lat long. In the dispatch center, when the dispatcher is looking at a grid number, a latitude, longitude, it doesn't easily transfer to a map.
The simple linear metric format of USNG has shown itself to require less training time to master and produces fewer operator errors than the more complex angles of latitude and longitude. You only have so many resources available during a search and rescue operation. Resource deconfliction helps avoid multiple teams searching the same areas multiple times. When all teams are using and communicating with the same system of coordinates, it makes search and rescue efforts more efficient and more successful. The answer to all of these concerns is to implement the U.S. National Grid as a national, state, and local standard. The first USNG was developed by the Federal Geographic Data Committee, or FGDC, in 2001. It closely resembles the U.S. military grid reference system, which can be used as an alternative if your GPS device isn't USNG capable. FEMA jumped on board in 2009, learning lessons from operational confusion during Hurricane Katrina. Then, in 2011, the National Search and Rescue Committee made it the standard for all ground-based search and rescue operations in the U.S. Air assets, which typically use latitude and longitude, should switch to USNG when interfacing with land search and rescue. USNG coordinates can be read by many GPS units, phone apps, and computer programs such as the Mission Manager. Technology is great until the batteries go dead. That's why it's important to understand how to read USNG coordinates using a Romer scale and a topographical map. Romer scale grid readers are available for download at the website fgdc.gov/USNG or at iowataskforce1.org. A USNG spatial address uses a string of up to 15 characters to describe a location. This address is divided into 3 parts. The first 3 letters identify the grid zone designation, which is a unique worldwide address. Most of Iowa is located in Zone 15T. The next 2 letters indicate the 100,000-meter square ID, which identifies regional areas. The 2 sets of numbers indicate distances in meters from the 100,000-meter square's lower left corner, or right for easting, then up for northing. Most GPS units and apps show 5 digits for each coordinate. The final digit identifies locations with 1 meter of precision. In practical operation, using 4 digits for each coordinate at 10 meters of precision provides enough accuracy for most search operations.
The beauty of the United States National Grid is that it is both an area, large area specific, to a pinpoint accuracy. It can be used to do a wide area search after, say, an EF5 tornado, house-to-house searches, or it can be brought down to the point of saying within 1 meter what the person's location is.
Let's try an exercise. You are searching for a lost boy along the Des Moines River south of Fort Dodge. Your commander directs your team to search between the radio tower and the sewage disposal plant. You're not familiar with the area, so he radios the truncated USNG coordinates 0254 and 0437. For this exercise, all teams know they are operating in Zone 15T and 100,000 meters square VH. You log the numbers in your ICS 214 logbook for reference. To find these USNG coordinates on your topographical map, place a top corner of your roamer scale on the corresponding grids starting in the lower left corner of the map. Remember, you read right or easting for the first set of 2 numbers, then up or northing for the second set of 2. In this case, 02 easting and 04 northing. Slide the roamer scale to the right to approximately 54 on the scale. Then, keeping the scale in that horizontal position, slide up to 37 on the scale. The top corner of the roamer scale now points to your team's target USNG coordinates within an accuracy of 10 square meters. Congratulations, you completed your mission. You will start seeing more of these trail markers in Iowa now that the state has adopted the U.S. National Grid system. These are GPS-compatible location markers that serve as an essential part of the emergency response system in recreational areas. As a rule of thumb, when reporting a GPS location away from a marker, use an 8-digit string. Simply drop the last digit of the easting and northing coordinates. You usually don't need precision down to 1 meter. Once you have locations marked with USNG coordinates, you can communicate your position and navigate using a compass. It is important to understand the proper use of a compass. Seek out training in your area or through resources at NASAR or on iowataskforce1.org.
What it's doing is providing a seamless tool to communicate that language of location, whether it's from the dispatcher to the firefighter, police officer, sheriff, first responder, emergency management, and the general public if they're using it on the trail systems or in the public lands. It's a way to say, where am I, cleanly, clearly, and efficiently.
Thank you for completing the Search and Rescue Training Series from Iowa Task Force 1. We hope it serves as a valuable refresher for your continuing learning and preparedness. Remember to visit our website at iowataskforce1.org to review any of the training modules and to access the tools and resources that we discussed. To learn more about the U.S. National Grid, visit these websites.